Hello, I'm going to explain how this project works. Basically, I'm going to start with the start menu. It's right over here. Well, with the start menu, what we have over here is it's a simple like start screen. Basically, you can modify it however you want. Um, there's not much going over here besides a bottom over here that has a simple script that will look for a game scene with this name, which is in this case Space Invaders. That's the name of the scene. And all it does is there's a bottom right over here. When you put it, of course, in game mode, it's going to be shown over here. And when you press it, it will direct you to this scene over here. Um, Let me show you how that is. Remember, this is all set up for Android. Um, and mobile gaming basically, but you can still test it over here. As you can see, this is the start scene, and if you press over here, it will redirect you to the beginning of the game, which is the first scene. Now let's move to that scene over there. That scene is this one. It's called Space Invaders. Um, and this is going to be the scene that controls not only this one, but also keep the scores of all the other scenes if you choose to, of course, on your game. You can have one game that is only one scene on, or you can have like one that uses like all the other scenes for different behaviors. So let's start with the, well, this scene has, of course, the player prefab. Um, this is how it's gonna look in the in game over here. You're gonna see it up to this part over here. And let me explain how the player is composed. It's composed of a sprite render. Um, it has a box collider. It has the player, a player tag, and of course a player script. I'm gonna be doing another video which explains in detail how the script works, but let me just go real fast over here. The speed tab is how fast a player can move left or right. This prefab, this bala prefab over here is basically the bullet that the player is going to be using. These are just the sounds that are used for destruction, for power up, for extra life when it's required. The animations are handled in this case because I have another case where the animations are used by the Unity animation controller. In this case, I'm just using simple sprites over here to handle the destruction in this case and the player alive animation. All right. So I'm gonna be showing you both. You can do it both ways. In the player case, it uses this kind of animation, and you're gonna see another example where you can use another kind of animation. Unity's own animation controller. Here you can set up like one of the power-ups. The player will shoot this bullet, and with the standard shooting mechanism, it will just shoot bullets right away. Um, and also you have this. This is the first power-up. You have to pick it up in game to actually get it, but when you do pick it up, you can modify it over here. The bullet. This is the bullet that is going to be using for this power-up. This is the bullet offset over here. This basically, these two offsets, I'm gonna tell you how apart one bullet is gonna be from the other one when you shoot it. So in this case, it's a bullet that's gonna be shooting 3 bullets. Uh, it says number 1 over here, but this one over here has 1 bullet that's gonna be going from minus this distance over here, 0.05, and this one over here. You can set up and you can adjust the y-axis, the x-axis, or even the z-axis if you're making this into a 3D game. And this tells how much time the bullet will be alive. So in case the bullet for some reason gets out of this area over here, it will destroy itself for performance issues. A little bit of the same over here. You have more customizations because you can have like the angle, the duration, um, and over here you can get another kind of behavior with this bullet, and you can make your own custom bullets with these two examples over here that you can get. I will show you later how this looks in game. And this is a basic joystick controller. Basically, you have two controllers over here for the player. One is the one that is actually active in the game right now, which is wherever you click in game. Remember, this can be done for a PC build, but this is more oriented into a mobile. If you're pressing the screen anywhere in the screen, you're gonna get this bottom over here that you can set up. Let me show you in game how this looks. This is the controller by default that you can get over here. For example, if you press over here, you can move the bottom. It's gonna look a lot better in game in the Android build or in the iOS build. Okay, so that's how that one works. And then you have another one if you choose to. I'm gonna enable this other bottom that is disabled by default, but you can enable it if you want. Let's put it into action over here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to play it because this is made for again for mobile. I'm doing this, but you can see the bottoms over here, up here in the scene. Let me move it over here to see if I can see it. Yeah, I cannot see it over here because this is all set up for mobile. I'll show you later how this looks in mobile. But basically what this is that these bottoms are just gonna be here and they don't move like whatever you go on the screen. They're gonna be fixed around this area over here. Alright, so let's leave everything the way it was. Let me disable these two. You can enable it if you want to, or you can have both if for some reason you want to have both controllers. And then you have the bottom, the shoot bottom that is going to be right over here. Remember, in game, I'm going to show you later how it looks in the Android build. Okay, in the mobile build, sorry. So all right, let's see what else do we have here. We have the level visuals, which is it's basically just decoration. This is all cosmetic. You can turn everything off. This is what the game looks like. This is just the decoration that I have in this case. You can set it up as whatever you want. Game limits. Let me go real fast over here. This is, let me show you in 3D how this looks. These walls over here are what prevents enemies and bullets and other objects getting out of this area. If they collide, it will trigger, depending on what it is, the player will die, the enemies will destroy itself. It has different behaviors, but they're there for a reason. They have different tags that basically they work as colliders for objects in the game. You can set it up however you want, or you can take it off if the way you're setting up the game is not that way. So enemies, let's go to the enemies. Let's go first with the enemy row. This is like I have a parent object that is an enemy row that contains all the enemies over here. So for example, I will show you later where they are all child objects of this enemy row object over here. I will show you later. But basically all the enemies in this scene in particular are going to be set up in this row over here. So all these are of course, all of these invaders are prefabs that you can find in the prefab section over here, and all of them are over here. It's just basically this kind of behavior, and you can change the color whatever you want it over here. So let me go real fast what the invaders are composed. They have a sprite renderer. They have the same kind of animation the player had, where they have different animations over here set up when they're destroyed, when they're idle. Here's the bullet that they shoot, similar to how the player has its own bullet. This score value is how much points you're gonna get in game for destroying a particular enemy. Let's go over here for This is the number of projectiles going to be shooting. All of these values over here determine how fast, how often, and how many bullets the enemy is gonna be doing. This over here is how um, before it shoots another bullet, it's gonna be waiting for this period to shoot another one, so it doesn't shoot like too many bullets at the same time. You can modify this as much as you want. All right, let's go a little bit up over here, and this is just the particles. This is a particle system that controls what kind of particles they um, they emit when they're destroyed. You're gonna see it in game when you destroy one of these enemies. You're gonna emit a particle.